Let's begin with a structural overview. Today we'll discuss Tarik Skubal. This is another lecture. I'm Alexei. In this context, we will treat a modern ace pitcher as a case study in development, risk, and design, rather like examining a well-played endgame and the small forcing moves that quietly decide it.
Hi, I'm Priyanka. I'll be asking questions as we go and probably stopping you when the chess metaphors become too aggressive.
To frame our discussion, who is Tarik Skubal in simple terms? He is an American left-handed pitcher who debuted with the Detroit Tigers in 2020, evolved into one of the premier starters in baseball, won back-to-back American League Cy Young Awards in 2024 and 2025, captured the pitching Triple Crown in 2024, and was traded to the Los Angeles Dodgers in August 2026. In simpler terms, an ace who marries power with precision.
And technically, what makes him distinct beyond the awards?
It's important to understand the repertoire and the physics. He throws a four-seam fastball, a two-seam sinker, a slider, and occasional harder turbo slider, a knuckle curve, and critically, a changeup that since 2023 has demonstrated elite seam-shifted wake. That aerodynamic effect alters airflow due to seam orientation, producing late, non-intuitive movement. In 2025, MLB.com called his changeup the most valuable pitch in baseball, with a league-leading plus 25 run value. Batters hit 156 against it with a 47% whiff rate. Those parameters made right and left-handed hitters equally uncomfortable. Combine that with back-to-back Cy Youngs and a full-season Triple Crown in 2024, and we observe both dominance and durability.
So, why should we care beyond highlight reels?
Two reasons. First, technique. Skubal's changeup is emblematic of a data era in which pitch design, high-speed cameras, and aerodynamics reshape arsenals and, by extension, the run environment. Second, recovery and valuation. He endured Tommy John surgery and later a 2022 flexor tendon procedure, yet returned stronger. This resilience culminated in a record-setting 2026 arbitration award of $32 million, underscoring how peak performance and health management recast labor economics in sport. Historically, we undervalued injured prospects in the draft. His path shows how that inefficiency can be exploited by a club prepared to develop and wait.
It makes me wonder, can we quickly situate him with a few facts and dates I should remember?
Certainly. Born November 1996 in Hayward, California, grew up a fan of the Oakland Athletics, later moved to Kingman, Arizona. Seattle University was his only Division I offer. He became a collegiate baseball freshman All-American in 2015, lost most of 2016 and all of 2017 to Tommy John, declined to sign as a 29th round pick of Arizona in 2017, was drafted by Detroit in the 9th round in 2018, and signed for $350,000. In his 2018 pro debut, he posted a 0.40 ERA across 3 levels. In 2019, he struck out 179 batters between high A and double A, vaulting into top prospect status. MLB debut in August 2020. After a 2022 flexor tendon surgery, he returned mid-2023, then exploded in 2024 to win the AL Triple Crown and a unanimous Cy Young. In 2025, among many highlights, he threw a 94-pitch Maddox with 13 strikeouts. In July 2026, he set a Tigers mark by reaching 1,000 career strikeouts, fastest by innings pitched, doing so against Taylor Ward, and was traded to the Dodgers in August 2026 for Zahir Hope, River Ryan, and Brady Smith.
Also, a small note for my brain. Didn't his cutter rank unusually fast as a rookie?
Yes, in 2020, per Baseball Savant classification, his cutter averaged the highest velocity among MLB pitchers, though pitch tags vary by system. A reminder that measurement frameworks matter, as with WAR, where leaderboards differ by methodology. Before we get to the complexities, a personal note. As someone who studies optimization, I find the post-injury phase instructive. Constraint produces clarity. The arm says no, so mechanics, loads, and pitch shapes must be rederived. Skubal's returns after both surgeries suggest not merely recovery, but thoughtful redesign. It is, if you will, a syllabus in resilience. This brings us to three big questions we should ask. First, how did his early experiences and challenges shape the professional outcome we observe? Second, what if he had signed with Arizona in 2017? Third, what research is needed to understand long-term effects of seam-shifted wake pitches on performance and health?
So, I guess we can start with the first. How did Skubal's early experiences and challenges shape his professional career?
We observe a sequence of filtering events. Lightly recruited, he accepts his sole Division I offer from Seattle University and immediately validates it with a freshman All-American season in 2015. Then catastrophic interruption via Tommy John, a period that often derails timing, command, and confidence. He declines to sign in the 29th round in 2017, a rational choice given low leverage and uncertain health. Returns to school, regains velocity, displays strikeout traits, and in 2018 becomes a ninth-round pick with a materially better bonus. The Tigers then invest in development, and he responds with a 0.40 ERA debut and a 2019 strikeout surge across two levels. The intervening years show continued refinement, culminating in 2023 to 2025, when the changeup becomes a signature via seam-shifted wake. This is not luck. It is an explicit pitch design choice integrated with fastball shapes and an attacking zone philosophy that limited walks. In 2024 and 2025, he leads the league in multiple run prevention and efficiency metrics. Durability plus deception equals awards.
I'm curious about the 2017 decision not to sign. Could you spell out why that mattered so much, numerically and developmentally?
Numerically, a 29th round slot implies minimal signing leverage and a thin margin for patient rehab investment. Developmentally, returning to Seattle University provided innings to rebuild value, reestablish command post-surgery, and display strikeout indicators. The outcome was a ninth-round selection in 2018 and a $350,000 bonus, with the Tigers positioned to provide a clearer runway. In short, postponing entry shifted his bargaining position and placed him in an organization ready to amplify his specific strengths.
So yeah, moving on. What if Skubal had signed with the Diamondbacks in 2017 while rehabbing? How might his trajectory have changed? For him, for Detroit, and for Arizona?
Counterfactuals require humility. Had he signed with Arizona, he likely enters pro ball mid-rehab with less initial leverage and potentially a slower ramp under a conservative workload. He might debut later, with promotion timing keyed to different organizational needs. The Tigers, absent Skubal, likely lack a 2024 Triple Crown ace and the 2025 postseason strikeout records. Their competitive arc and subsequent transactions shift. For Arizona, a healthy, optimized Skubal could have altered rotation planning in the early 2020s. Yet timelines for pitch design adoption vary by infrastructure and personnel. It is plausible his changeup still becomes elite, but the when and how might diverge, affecting award windows and arbitration outcomes. Also, the 2026 trade to the Dodgers. Without a Detroit origin, that specific exchange of Zahir Hope, River Ryan, and Brady Smith does not occur. The asset map rearranges across three organizations.
Can we maybe now look at organizational differences? Do teams actually change pitch design outcomes in systematic ways? Or would a player like him converge on similar tools anywhere?
Teams matter. While many clubs now wield edgertronic cameras, motion capture, and machine learning models, implementation varies. The Tigers by the mid-2020s were notably aggressive, aligning fastball shapes and off-speed movement profiles. Skubal's changeup synergy with his fastballs reflects such alignment. Arizona has also invested in tech-forward development, but sequencing philosophies, risk tolerance post-surgery, and minor league pitching coaches' heuristics can nudge outcomes. Convergence is not guaranteed. The same ingredients under different chefs yield subtly different plates, and award calendars are sensitive to such subtleties.
Building on that, what further research do we need to understand long-term effects of seam-shifted wake pitches like his changeup, especially for health and performance sustainability?
Several fronts. First, biomechanics under load. We need longitudinal coupling of high frame rate motion capture, wearable sensor data, and in-game pitch metrics to quantify joint torques when generating non-intuitive movement via seam orientation. Pronation timing, forearm rotation velocity, and wrist posture across release windows should be linked to elbow and shoulder stress. Second, fatigue dynamics. Repeated SSW profiles might distribute stress differently across outings. Third, adaptation ecology. As hitters recalibrate to the movement, does the pitcher subtly alter grips and finger pressure? And what are the stress consequences of those micro-adaptations? Fourth, survivorship bias. We require multi-year cohorts, not only stars who succeed. Finally, a data harmonization point. Pitch classification ambiguity complicates causal inference. If one system labels a hard change as a two-seam or a sinker, injury modeling can be misspecified. Standardizing labels would reduce noise.
And current trends in pitch design research. What's actually happening in labs and bullpens right now?
We observe three practical moves. 1. Individualized seam mapping, where pitchers explore micro-seam shifts on a per-finger basis, chasing wake effects that complement their specific fastball axis. 2. Blended optimization, balancing whiff probability with called strike probability to control pitch counts. Skubal's 2025 Maddox with 13 strikeouts illustrates that efficiency and bat missing can coexist. 3. Closed-loop training, integrating force plate mounds, markerless motion capture, and instant feedback on spin axis to shorten the iteration cycle. Open questions remain about cumulative exposure. Skubal's 2026 loose body surgery and a 6-week return suggest minimal structural damage. Yet we would benefit from comparative baselines to evaluate whether SSW-heavy arsenals carry distinct longer-term profiles relative to, say, traditional changeups. To summarize, Tarik Skubal is a modern ace, defined by an elite seam-shifted wake changeup, an unusually rapid ascent from a 9th-round pick, and a period of dominance that produced a full-season AL Triple Crown in 2024 and back-to-back Cy Young Awards. We pose 3 questions. How early constraints and choices shaped his arc? What might have happened had he signed with Arizona in 2017? And what research we still need on the biomechanics and durability of SSW pitches? Relatedly, the broader literature on Tommy John comebacks continues to evolve, and his case is a particularly strong data point for post-surgery optimization rather than mere recovery.
So I guess that kind of sums it up. From being the fastest in Tigers history, to reaching 1,000 strikeouts by innings pitched, to being traded to the Dodgers for 3 prospects. It's a story of design and decisions as much as raw talent. Thank you for listening.
This then completes our present analysis. Thank you, and until next time.